Well, it's your boy Sasper Man. Today, the run through UFC 314 to start off Trajan Gore versus Marco Tulio. I didn't watch this fight, unfortunately, but sad of my boy Trajan Gore. Apparently got KO'd. It's pretty sad. I was hoping he was going to become a concurrent UFC and boxing champion, but I guess that can't happen. Maybe you never know. Trajan Gore still might become one of the goats of the UFC. I didn't watch the Tszyu fight, and Alexei Cook versus Rodriguez Dumas. I guess Boon Gang got knocked out, unfortunately. Then Darren Elkins versus Junior Rosa. Darren Elkins looked like a crackhead on the side of the road who just who gave $50 to have a fight, and he's gonna use that $50 to buy his crack for the night. I don't know, man. Darren Elkins should be forced into retirement institute or something, where he can't live out his will or something, because he's just gonna take damage in the octagon. And yeah, it was a funny performance from Darren Elkins. It was also pretty sad, and yeah, I think Darren Elkins probably become a vegetable in a few years. So let's not get this guy in the octagon. Then Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper won, which I thought was gonna happen, but he's striking. He didn't really look good against old man Jim Miller. He's striking. I think that I don't know, against like the young top 15 up echelons of fighters, like he's just not gonna. I don't think he's gonna do as well. And if he faces a good power puncher who's actually skilled, then I think he could definitely lose. For example, Chase Hooper is a good grappler. Like Chase Hooper and Payton are similar fighters, as in they're both good grapplers. But the difference is Paddy has way more explosiveness in his hand, which makes him a way better fight, which makes him better than Hooper. Then Yan Xiaonan versus Werner Jandiroba. Damn, Werner Jandiroba's become could become the face of the UFC strawweight division. It might be an ugly face, but yeah, she could be fighting for the title next. I don't know, honestly. Performance from Jandiroba, she dominated on the ground, and I think at the end of the third round, she could have got an armbar for the fight to end. So yeah. Then Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. I'm surprised. I thought Sean Woodson was gonna win, but Dan Ige, yeah. Dan Ige could have finished the fight earlier and could have landed more, because Dan Ige was cutting the octagon off well, cutting off the octagon well against Sean Woodson, but he just wasn't throw enough. But eventually he slipped that uppercut, that terrible uppercut from Sean Woodson, where he literally his left hand was all the way to his hip. And then Dan Ige actually slipped that uppercut and landed the right hand. And I was always like thinking in my mind sometimes, how would a Sean Woodson versus Ilia Topuria matchup go? Because Sean Woodson's so tall and stuff, but now I think I got the answers. Just by the way Dan Ige was able to cut off the octagon, Ilia Topuria is way better than that, and Ilia Topuria would absolutely smoke Sean Woodson, probably KO him in a round. So yeah, now we got that question answered. Then Dominic Reyes versus Nikita Krylov. My TV was fucking up. I don't know, for some reason at 4 AM my DSTV says it must reboot, so I try to fix that out. But while I was trying to fix that out, Nikita Krylov got KO'd within the round, and it was a backhand counter from Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes said that he wants to fight maybe one more win and then get the title. Is absolutely delusional. Dominic Reyes hasn't really beat anyone. I think Dominic Reyes versus Rakic would be a good matchup, and either of those guys could get a win and put up the stock. What the fuck? Fuck off. Then Gene Silver versus Bryce Mitchell. I don't know, because people want Bryce Mitchell to win this fight, and we're behind Bryce Mitchell. I think people kind of got delusional about Bryce Mitchell's skill set, and they're kind of deluding themselves into picking Bryce Mitchell like a MMA guru, but Gene Silver just surgically beat Bryce Mitchell. Not surgically, but like just was a better fighter overall and basically broke down Bryce Mitchell without even trying really. Bryce Mitchell was starting to get gassed because Gene Silver's scary power and because of Gene Silver's scary power, Bryce Mitchell had to move around a lot and throw a lot just to get Gene Silver occupied off him, and that eventually gassed out Bryce Mitchell. All the takedown. People were saying that Bryce Mitchell won the first round against Gene Silver, but no, he didn't. Gene Silver got guillotine choke handles, landing the better shots. Also, Bryce Mitchell's takedowns didn't work against Gene Silver, and in my prediction video, I was saying that Bryce Mitchell's grappling wouldn't really be effective against Gene Silver because Gene Silver is the physically stronger guy, and every time Bryce Mitchell tried to take Gene Silver down, he just was athletically able to chuck off Bryce Mitchell with him. So yeah, a good performance from Gene Silver. We could have had an aura farming moment of Bryce Mitchell on the mark, saying the most coolest Christian sounding quotes of all time, making Christianity sound cool and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. Then Yair Rodriguez was Patricio Pitbull. Basically, my prediction was that because of the range and stuff, Yair Rodriguez is going to basically Patricio Pitbull is basically going to travel to touch Yair Rodriguez. And Patricio Pitbull just didn't want to win the fight for some reason. Was literally losing 2-3 rounds and didn't start to throw any punches. Even in the last second, just didn't throw anything. Like a dumbass. But yeah, Yair Rodriguez boxing looked crispy as well. Yair Rodriguez was outboxing Pitbull in the pocket. I think Pitbull only landed like 1 or 2 punches on Yair Rodriguez. The first and second round were kind of boring, but then the third round was starting to get a little bit more entertaining. Yair Rodriguez even dropped Patricio Pitbull in the third round. Then when they went to the ground and stuff, Yair Rodriguez had to do stupid jiu-jitsu submissions, which don't work in the UFC. But yeah, good performance from Yair. And hopefully we get Yair versus Diego Lopes now, because that's a matchup which could be made. Because it would make sense. Then Michael Chandler vs. Paddy Pimblett. Paddy the Falcon, Paddy Lad Falcon, does it mate? I was nervous in this fight because Paddy Pimblett is one of my favorite fighters. But obviously, Michael Chandler just can land one big shot and it could be the end. But I also predicted this fight pretty perfectly. Paddy Pimblett was able to stay on the outside with low kicks, head kicks, jabs, right hands, and basically maintain the distance very, very well, which he did in luck. Chandler only basically landed like 2 or 3 punches. I think the whole fight on Pimblett. Kenya Okoye did actually make a good read about the fight, where he basically said that the leg kicks. Shut up, dog. Basically, the Chandler can counter the leg kicks of Paddy Pimblett, which he did do once, and I think those holes which Kenya Okoye pointed out. Fuck again, Kenya Okoye with a shitty ass pick of Michael Chandler. That was a very dumb pick. But yeah, basically those holes which Kenya Okoye pointed out, I think Ilia Topuria could exploit, but Michael Chandler's too dumb to exploit those holes which Paddy Pimblett could have. But yeah, it was a great performance from Paddy. I was kind of disappointed that he didn't get a submission or anything, but he went for ground and pound TKO. Would it be more flashy got the submission or knockout? But yeah, but Chandler was always like dangerous, so I understand why Paddy just wanted to get the fight to the ground as soon as possible. But yeah, great performance from Paddy Pimblett. And people would say Paddy was never going to reach the top 5, never reach the top 10. Well, he's just done it. Well, he probably won't be ranked in the top 5. Maybe if Poirier retires and stuff like that, he could get in the top. Could actually be in the top 5. But yeah, great performance from Paddy the Baddy mate. Then Volkanovski vs Diego Lopes. Great performance from Volk. Some people were disappointed that Volk was running away, but yeah, we don't care. We just want Volk to get the title back. Who wants Diego Lopez as champion? No one. And yeah, Volk looked really fast, and Volk's just understanding of the distance, and he is a shorter fighter finding off the back foot and countering is pretty. It's a pretty like unique a talent which Alexander Volkanovski has. And yeah, but Diego Lopez did hurt Volkanovski once or twice, and that could have made the fight 3-2 to Diego Lopez, but Volkanovski arguably could have won all 5 rounds. Basically, only time where Volk was losing the fight was he got rocked. And yeah. And Volkanovski was jabbing Diego Lopez head off. And I think a read which Diego Lopez could have taken is that every time Volkanovski would get in the pocket, really close in the pocket, that's obviously where Volkanovski had this advantage, but he always go for a takedown, so like Paddy Pimblett, who had a knee, which was absolutely beautiful. Diego Lopez could have also done a knee or uppercut. Diego Lopez does have a nice uppercut during the fight. And yeah, and also there were so many also Lopez's chin's insane. If Lopez didn't have a chin, he would have got knocked out. But like even Volkanovski would land on Diego Lopez and his head winning the move is pretty insane. But Diego Lopez's chin, that's what literally saved him the fight. And also so many like right hands just didn't fully connect on Diego Lopez. Imagine those right hands for Volkanovski's land, but yeah, Volkanovski. It's a great. This was a very feel-good card. It was a very good card. I just wanted Paddy Pimblett to win, but Volkanovski winning, and unfortunately Rice Mitchell didn't win. But everything can't be perfect. So this was a good card. The UFC's felt like it's been dying and stuff, so this was a good card to like kind of like bring the hype back to the sport a bit. And yeah, it's your boy Sasbury Man.